Hello everyone and welcome to The Good Old Gamer, the channel where we cut through the marketing BS, take a look at new and old gaming technologies to figure out what makes the most sense for you. So today we have ourselves a doozy. We now have evidence that suggests that NVIDIA knows that their Ampere GPUs are a failure. Specifically speaking about the upcoming RTX 3060, which isn't even out yet, NVIDIA is preempting their lack of availability by re-releasing the RTX 2060 and 2060 Super. So that's what we're going to be talking about here today. But first, in need of a Windows 10 key for your new PC build? Well, you're in luck. Today's sponsor is CDK Deals, and they have a deal for you. CDK Deals is a site that offers excellent deals on games and software. And of course, they offer Windows 10 Pro OEM keys at a ridiculously good price. Just find the best deal and go ahead and pop in my promo code GOG20 to apply an additional 20% off. You can check out securely via credit card or PayPal, and once done, you will go ahead and get direct access to your key via the website as well as in your email. Once you have your key, all you have to do is type in activate in your search bar, go ahead and pop the key in, and poof, you're up and running. To take advantage of this excellent offer, all you have to do is click the link in the description and pin comment down below. Make sure to apply GOG20 to get that additional 20% off. All right, so checking out this article over on videocards.com, we can see NVIDIA to reintroduce the GeForce RTX 2060 series. A month ahead of the official RTX 3060 launch to the market, NVIDIA plans to reintroduce its Turing's cards first. So once I saw this, I'm like, that says all I really need to know about the RTX 3060 launch and NVIDIA's confidence in it. So this interesting information has been shared on overclockers.com today. According to multiple sources of theirs, NVIDIA plans to reintroduce the 2060 series to the market, just as we expected its successor. The site claims that NVIDIA has already distributed new GPU stock to board partners and system integrators. Number of shipments has not been disclosed, blah, 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 blah. All right, so what makes this particularly interesting is the fact that the RTX 3060 is supposed to launch next month, and NVIDIA is so confident in their stock levels that now they're bringing back the 2060, which according to the article was discontinued in December. So they stopped producing more 2060 GPUs, so that'd be TU106 dies back in December of last year, and I guess TU104 for the Super. Okay, anyways, going down here, according to overclocking.com, the introduction of the RTX 2060 and 2060 Super will be priced at €300 or $299, which is what the 2060 was, and €400 respectively, which is what the 2060 Super was here in the US, $399. So it looks like no pricing changes are going to occur. The latter being well above the RTX 3060, which retails for €339 in France or $329 here in the US. Hopefully this isn't an indicator of limited GA106 GPU stock at launch. I really don't know what other takeaway you can get from this if they're going to be charging more for RTX 2060 Supers than the brand new RTX 3060, simply because they know that $329 or $339 price point is a joke and is never going to be hit, or at least not for a very long time. Funny enough, the very next article over on Video Cards, right after this one, is MSI might launch a GPU mining specific graphics card. So they're thinking about making, or are in the process of making, an RTX 3060 Ti miner series. So I'm not going to go too much more into that. I just found this pretty indicative of what's going on. AIBs, NVIDIA, these guys know that the mining boom that is just starting to ramp up now are going to suck up all the GA106s, all the GA104s. It's going to be sucking up the entire inventory there, and they're not even hiding it anymore. They're bringing back RTX 2060s while selling RTX 3060s to miners. Alrighty guys, so looking at this, assuming that this is true, which I think VideoCard said that they verified some of this information, it looks like NVIDIA is actively conceding the fact that they know that they can't supply the GPU market. And in a way, this does make a lot of sense. Going back to TSMC on their 12 nanometer, which probably isn't at max capacity, NVIDIA can keep producing GPUs over there to try to fill in that more mainstream and entry-level market. Now, the real problem here is not the fact that the RTX 2060 and 2060 Super are going to be returning. It's the fact that they're coming back at their original-ish MSRPs. Obviously, $299 is the reduced MSRP for the 2060, but €399 or 400 euro for the 2060 Super was its launch MSRP. Now, I was expecting that level of performance to come out at the 3050 and 3050 Ti level. So basically the 200-ish, maybe 229, up to 350 to maybe 379. So not that I wasn't expecting this level of performance again from a new GPU this generation. I was just expecting them at a much more reduced price. So had NVIDIA come out with these again and just price them at, let's say, $230 for the 2060 and $280 for the 2060 Super, I think that would be fine, as obviously the 3060 at $329 is faster than the 2060 Super. Basically, we're expecting 3070 Super level performance, so for a $50 gap there, I think that would be acceptable. However, the fact that they're not doing that, which would make a ton of sense, instead of wasting time coming out with more Ampere chips and taking up more wafers and other supply that can go for higher end GPUs, and then sticking with the 12 nanometer at the low end, NVIDIA is instead going, well, you're not going to be able to buy this 329 graphics card that's offering 2070 Super performance, so basically last gen $500 performance. You're not going to be able to get it at that price anyway. So instead, if you want any graphics card, you'll have to pay basically the same price, if not more, for lower performance. To me, this is just mind-boggling because NVIDIA is flat out admitting that they cannot keep up with supply, and they have no interest in providing the value that we thought that they would with the Ampere lineup. Essentially, the MSRPs from both AMD and NVIDIA at this point are just marketing. They're just trying to get into your mind so you're like, oh, well, at $329, this is a great card. Well, it's clearly not a $329 card. Otherwise, they wouldn't be bringing back a slower card at $399, $400. They clearly know that this is going to be $5, $6, $7, whatever. Who knows how much these things are going to end up going for in the next couple of months. But well over $400 is NVIDIA's own expected price point for these. But they don't tell you that, meaning that MSRP now is just pure marketing. That is gone, and the goodwill and faith that us as consumers put into these companies by setting a realistic MSRP, at least in the GPU segment, that's completely out the window. We can't trust that anymore. And for all reviewers out there, you can no longer use MSRP on new AMD or NVIDIA products at all. You can't use those in your price to performance analysis anymore. You have to wait until the GPUs launch and see how much they're actively being sold for on the market. Meaning if they're only available on eBay, you have to use the eBay prices. So that means like RTX 3080s, they're now $1,000 to $1,200. And you have to base your reviews off of that. So this way the community doesn't get a false perception of value that simply doesn't exist. We know NVIDIA has been actively manipulating the reviewers behind the scenes with everything that happened in December with Steve from Hardware Unboxed. We know that that's actively going on. We know that the MSRP prices now are just marketing. They're just like wishful thinking, pie in the sky, magical, fictitious unicorn numbers. Basically from the evidence of their actions. By looking at how these companies actually act and react to the market and what they actually do, this is how these companies need to be judged. No longer by what they say, no longer by what they wish was a thing. We have to actually objectively look at what's going on and judge these companies and their products by what they're doing. Like I said before, I don't mind to get more production, to get more product out there, to go back and reintroduce some of your older products. But if they're not priced in line with your new current structure, I mean, what's really the point? We know Turing next to Ampere isn't great for mining. So even if they were cheaper, miners aren't going to be as apt to pick those up if there's even a chance to pick up something like a 3060. The only other thing that I'm thinking is NVIDIA's like, well, you know, let's say 3060s they expect to go for $500 or $600. Maybe at like $400, miners might get more appetized into that. That might actually look good since GPUs like the RX 5700 XTs, those are all already sold out and prices are inflated. So to me, this just looks like they're capitalizing on the market. They're conceding to the situation instead of revamping and saying, hey guys, we're going to do everything we can to make sure that we can supply the market. They're throwing that away. They're just saying, nope, we're going to just take advantage of the market and the situation as best we can by pumping out as much product as we can at as high a price point as we can. Now, granted, this is okay. This is what businesses are supposed to do, except for the fact that the market is artificially inflated right now for reasons outside the control of the target market of these products. That's the part that really gets me, guys, is we're actively being fleeced. And personally, it's actually detrimental to even my channel, because I know a lot of you guys are no longer interested in GPUs and really any new technologies because they're all just a pipe dream. They don't actually exist in the real world right now. So they might as well just be leaks that we're talking about instead of actual products that are supposed to exist. And that's actively hurting my channel and my friends' channels, like Paul from Not an Apple Fan. His channel is being negatively affected. And most of the other YouTubers that I talk to, I check out their videos. Everybody's views are substantially down because of NVIDIA's greed. So this isn't hurting just them. This is hurting everybody in the entire market. And realistically, the only options that I'm seeing here are the ones that we talked about. Moving on over to console, where we know supply is going to be pretty good there because Microsoft and Sony are going to get as many wafers as they need from AMD whenever they want them, as they are the #1 priority for AMD. But to NVIDIA, they're just out trying to make the quick buck right now, hurting their reputation. But the problem is there is no alternate solution at this point in time. There is no dark horse candidate that can come in and just be like, hey, well, we have this other product. Maybe it's not the best, but it's priced pretty good and you can get them. That's the trouble with having a duopoly like we have here with AMD and NVIDIA, pretty much the only options for discrete graphics for gaming. So hopefully the market learns from this. People recognize that there is a weakness in the market by only having two companies. Maybe Intel will come out and do something, but realistically, they're so far behind technologically, I don't think that they could really bring out a real competing product at this point in time on 14 nanometers. They're having a hard enough time with Rocket Lake, so I don't see it happening. I wish it was true. Maybe somebody like Google or Amazon or some other trillion-dollar company out there might see this as an opportunity to invest into graphics technology and put their hat in the ring, because realistically, it's just not working anymore the way things are. So I'm sorry, guys, this is more of a ranty type video. I'm just upset that we have evidence that NVIDIA really just couldn't care less. If they wanted to make this work, like I said, even $250 for the 2060 and $300 for the 2060 Super, I think even that would have been acceptable. But coming back out at their old MSRPs, which offer lower performance at a higher price, come on, guys. It's just not a good look here. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Are you still interested in PC gaming and GPUs and all this stuff? Because I know a lot of you guys are, but realistically, if you can't buy any of this stuff, how interested could you really be? I want to know. I want to get your thoughts in on this. And if you found this video useful, please smash that like button. It really helps out. And share the video around. People really should know about this. If they're expecting to even possibly get an RTX 3060, NVIDIA doesn't expect them to, so why should they? People need to know about this, so please share this around. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Make content like this whenever we get news of this caliber. I'm also going to be testing out older GPUs, stuff that you may already have laying around, much like I did the RX 580 video a few weeks ago. More stuff like that, so this way, you know, if you are just holding on to what you have, let's see how good those still are and how far you can push that technology. And patrons over on Patreon, that really helps support me and do that. So if you want to help support the channel, Patreon links are in the description below. But that's really all I have for you guys here today, and I will catch you guys in the next video.